At this point, Jerry Williams going to the experience and putting Lloyd in at the middle linebacking position. First and goal to go, Ron Johnson. Touchdown, Giants.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's watched my videos, maybe subscribe to my channel, maybe give my videos a thumbs up or left a comment or anything at all you guys can do to help me and my channel out. I'm just trying to get my channel off and running. Anything you guys can do, I greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much. Thank you. I saw a pretty interesting article here. Gives you a little bit of hope, hopefully for the future. Okay. It's from SB Nation. I'll leave a link in the description box. You can check it out if you want. But what I like about it, they did a lot of the work for me, so I didn't have to do much, like a lot of searching for numbers and stuff like that. And a lot of everything I'm going to tell you is boom right out of this article. Okay. It says, do offensive tackles improve over time? And specifically, they were talking, with the Giants, with Andrew Thomas and Matt Peart. And what they were going over, gives you some hope for the future. No guarantee, obviously, but gives you some hope. All right. They were talking about, Andrew Thomas last year, PFF, his PFF grades, okay, just disclaimer, all right, was a 62.4. Matt Peart was a 69.7. Not too bad. But Matt Peart was only in 150 snaps, so it's a small sample size, all right. Andrew Thomas was in far more snaps. But what they were showing is that, they took a bunch of guys who graded out very well last year at the offensive tackle position. And they took a bunch of them just to see, did any of those tackles who graded out really good last year, did any of them in their rookie season grade out around, in the 60s? Where Andrew Thomas and Matt Peart did, and there were quite a few of them. So that they gave you what their grades were when they were a rookie, but then not only that, but like what they graded out last year. And you got some of the numbers are pretty impressive. Like Trent Williams, all right. Last year was with San Francisco. His rookie season, he was a 63.4, almost identical what Andrew Thomas was. But last year, he was a 91.9. I mean, do you realize the 49ers between McGlinchey and Williams last year, they both graded out at over a 90, their tackles? Could you imagine that? Having two tackles on your team that graded out over a 90? Holy cow. Wow, Trent Williams, good. That guy's phenomenal. But then with Teron Armstead, all right, from last year he was with New Orleans, all right? His rookie season was a 65.7. Last year, it was an 86.3. All right. Laramie Tunsil. All right. Last year, he was with Houston. His rookie season was a 65.8. Last year was a 75.4. Dwayne Brown. All right. Last year, he was with Seattle. Rookie season, he was a 66.8. Last year, he was an 87.8. Jake Matthews. All right. Last year, he was with Atlanta. His rookie season was at 59.7. Last year was a 75.5. All right, big jump. Orlando Brown Jr. Last year he was with Baltimore. His rookie season was a 68.6. Last year was a 77.8. Isaiah Wynn. Last year he was with New England. His rookie season was a 70.7. Very good for a rookie season. Last year he was an 82.6. Colton Miller, all right, last year he was with Las Vegas, the Raiders. His rookie season, 49.6. Last year was a 72.9. Pretty good. Leo Collins, with Dallas, his rookie season was a 68.4. Last year he didn't play. So 2019, he was an 86.4. And you realize he was an undrafted free agent, and he graded out at 86.4. Wow. And Brian O'Neill, last year was with Minnesota. All right, his rookie season was a 63. Last year he was a 78.0. And then you got Alejandro Villanueva. I love that name. Last year he played with Pittsburgh. His rookie season was a 61.4. Last year he was a 74.9. Right? So, I mean, a lot of good tackles. Rookie season, graded out around where Peart and Thomas did, but, obviously they improved. Now, they also showed on this list here, too, the big guy, the one that they were trying to point out was DJ Humphries. Okay, he was drafted in 2015 from Arizona. He was picked number 24 in the first round. His rookie season, right, he drafted out at a 0. Last year in Arizona, he was an 88.3. All right, during his rookie season, he was the only first-round pick, right, to be inactive for all 16 games. He started out as the third-string right tackle, and Bruce Arians said, Bruce Arians, who was the coach of Arizona, gave him a nickname of knee deep. Knee deep, what do you mean? Because that's what you had to do. You had to put the knee in his ass just to get him motivated. He was not motivated at all. First round pick, right? He went on the depth chart. He was a third string right tackle, and Bruce Arians said you had to motivate him. I mean, holy cow! So that's why he was inactive for all 16 games his rookie season, because he was just not motivated. Wow! But how bad? I mean, could you imagine what they were thinking about calling that guy in the newspapers and all of that? I mean, it's certainly a bust. But last year he was an 88.3. Right? He turned it around big time. Now then, they're also going over comparing, like a lot of these guys, weren't necessarily, the guys and names I just, went over a lot. Some of these guys weren't even picked in the first round. 2 of them were undrafted free agents, Leo Collins and Alejandro Villanueva. So it's like, they're in this article they're saying, yeah, but Andrew Thomas was picked number 4. I mean, you should expect more. Than somebody being drafted number 4 overall. It should be better than a 62.4. Well, they pointed out in this article, that Trent Williams in 2010, all right, with Washington, he was picked number 4 in the first round. All right, he graded out at 63.4 his rookie season with Washington. All right, his rookie season with Washington, Trent Williams, all right, who last year was a 91.9. Okay, his rookie season, he had 6 penalties. He gave up 11 sacks and 870 snaps. Last year, Andrew Thomas only had 3 penalties. But he gave up less sacks. He gave up 10 sacks, and he had 978 snaps. He had 108 extra snaps than Trent Williams. It's not saying that he's going to turn out to be Trent Williams or anywhere near him, but just gives you a little ray of hope. Okay, but Trent Williams, ever since that year, I mean, every year since 2010, he's been in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s as far as his PFF grade. Okay, then they talked about Jake Matthews. All right, 2014, he was in the first round. He was picked number 6 overall. All right, his rookie season. All right, he was a 59.7. All right, he's been in the 70s and the 80s ever since. So gives you a little ray of hope. Then we were also talking about, Andrew Thomas is picked first round. You should expect a lot more from him and all of that. And then you got, they were talking about Matt Peart. Is there any of these guys in the 3rd round or around where Matt Peart's done? Because some of these guys, they're drafted in the 3rd, 4th round. I mean, they're not expected to do very well. Can they have a mediocre rookie season and can they make a big jump? Well, yeah. I mean, Teron Armstead and Orlando Brown Jr. were drafted in the 3rd round, just with Matt Peart, okay? Then you got David Bakhtiari. We've all heard of him, how good he is, okay? And Darrell Williams. They were drafted in the 4th round. And then, like I just mentioned, Leo Collins and Alejandro Villanueva. I love that name. They were undrafted free agents, and they made huge jumps, from their rookie season to now. All right, so, just because you're not in the 1st round, you can be in the 3rd round, you can be a 4th rounder, you can be an undrafted free agent and have a mediocre rookie season and still make big jumps. Now, then what they found out, they took the top 32 offensive tackles, which I guess they were ranked, right? But they took out Tristan Wirfs and Mekhi Becton and Penei Sewell for obvious reasons, because Penei Sewell hasn't even taken a snap yet. But what they wanted to do is see guys who have been in the league for a while, see if they were able to start off maybe have a mediocre rookie season, but then can they make big jumps point wise under PFF. So out of the top 32, they took out Penei Sewell, right? And they took Tristan Wirfs out, and they took out Mekhi Becton, because Tristan Wirfs and Mekhi Becton have only played 1 year, right? So they haven't been around that long, So they're trying to get guys who've been around for a while, okay? And what they did find, all right, so out of the top 29 offensive tackles, okay, because you took those 3 guys you take out. So out of the top 29 offensive tackles, 7 of them out of the top 29 had at least 1 season, all right, where they went up 10 to 14 points PFF wise, okay, in their first 5 years. 5 of those top 29 guys had at least 1 season where their PFF grade went up 15 to 19 points in their first 5 years, okay? And 8 of those top 29 guys, all right, had at least 1 season where their PFF grade went up 20 points or more in their first 5 years in the league, okay? So basically, 20 out of the 29 top offensive tackles, right, definitely improved dramatically over season 1. So can it happen? Absolutely. Will it happen? We'll have to wait and see. Keep your fingers crossed. But a lot of it, it's 2 things that are huge. One is, right here, your heart, all right, your desire, your determination. It's, nothing's given to you. Do you put the extra time in the weight room? Some guys do martial arts with their hands. Do you do all those little things? You watch film. Do you eat properly? Get enough rest? Or you're out there partying with your friends and stuff like that. What are you doing to make yourself the best offensive tackle you can possibly be? So it's right here. It's a lot of it. It's up to Andrew Thomas and Matt Peart. Okay, so that's one. The second thing, as I've said this before in my videos, is coaching. All right, if you get the right coach, you'd be amazed what some of these guys can do. All right, if you get somebody who wants to turn things around, does everything he possibly can to become the best, and you give him the proper coaching, boy, I'll tell you what, these guys can make leaps and bounds. We're going back quite a few years here, okay? But I point this example out all the time. Coaching, all right? 1958, the Green Bay Packers were 1-10-1. That was the worst record in Green Bay Packer history. 1-10-1. Okay, that was 1958. 1958, the New York Giants had an offensive coordinator by somebody by the name of Vince Lombardi. He took the job to become the Packers head coach in 1959. All right, they were 1-10-1 in 58. He took the job. 1959, they were 7-5. A lot of the same guys. All right, they went from 1-10-1 to 7-5. The next year, 1960, they were 8-4. They won the Western Division Conference, they went to the championship game. They lost to the Eagles 17-13 at Franklin Field. But in 2 years, he took them to the championship game. The next year, 1961, the Green Bay Packers, they started playing 14 games in 61. So in 1961, they were 11-3. Once again, they won the Western Conference Division. They went to the championship game, and they kicked the living snot out of the Giants, 37-0. So within 3 years of taking over the Green Bay Packers, they were 1-10-1, and they went to 11-3, and they won the championship. So coaching can be absolutely huge. So between, the heart, what do they want to do? Are they doing everything they can to become the best offensive tackles they can be? And that in coaching, yes, absolutely. Andrew Thomas and Matt Peart can make huge jumps in the next year to come. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!